beautiful YouTube. Hello, beautiful YouTube. It's happy Halloween. I hope you're having a joyous Friday, Venus Day. I wanted to do something fun because I'm in costume to go trick-or-treating with my little 2-year-old niece, who's I think going to be a witch or a pumpkin, yet to be decided. All right, so I'm gonna do 3 little advice tarot readings for 3 different people. So the first is this person, okay? You can feel your way into which one of these feels most like the message for you. So this is a beautiful green fluorite, and we'll just use this fluorite to clear this space, just clearing anything that is not here within the resonance of unconditional love, and clearing all things that are not operating within the law of one. Okay, so green fluorite. If you feel this energy, this feels like your reading, then you're the green fluorite. The next reading, no, I think it's this one next. The next reading is this blue apatite. Look how gorgeous this thing is. It's like the earth. Okay, this is reading 2. And then classic, beautiful, gorgeous. One of my absolute favorite stones, maybe because it's my birthstone, which I chose to wear a little birthstone ring today. Amethyst. Okay, so here are your readings. Choose your flavor. We are going to start with the green fluorite, if that is your choice. Okay, so I'm just going to tune into this collective that has chosen this. I set the intention to give the highest service message that will help in all ways possible, that are good, beautiful, and true for whoever this group is. And I connect now with this group's energy. Okay, the first thing I'm seeing is a white bird. White birds are symbols of purity and freedom. So this may be a group that is in that energy or about to be in that energy very soon. And let's see what we get. This table is not at the correct height for what I'd like if I were reading cards. So, Wheel of Fortune, it's good news. It's always good news. I'm just gonna, woo, that one had energy. You have been through a rough patch. Let's just put it that way. We'll talk about it though in here in just a minute. Good things on the horizon. Maybe, possibly, a big influx of money. Okay. And one more card. I guess these are going to be 6 card readings, or at least 6 card reading for the group who has chosen the green fluorite. Whoop. That was in the past. It was in the past. Okay, let's start in the past. So this card is, I like to call it like when you're forgetting that there is this space of warmth and God, Creator, Divine Source's love that is really available. And so for whatever reason, there's this sense of being abandoned, forgotten about, left out in the cold. And it really is, when we're humble, it's a self thing, because these people who are freezing could just go into the church and get warm. So it is this, and I think this is part of everyone's journey, but there does come a time where you really get caught up in Maya and you fall into the illusion. And so maybe in your past, this occurred, okay? I don't know what this is for you, but can you feel that for yourself? Like where or how you got caught up in Maya. All right, so this came out too as something that felt like a past energy right when it flipped. This is like the psychic battlefield, spiritual initiation, but like you've been through the ringer and now things are like a little bit more in order. You're starting to like really feel your alignment with spirit, but it's like a sense of being, you know, slightly wounded. You got the psychic bandage on the head. And so thinking about like at this moment in time, what thoughts could I fully balance out? Like what thoughts am I, here we have the scales of justice, and maybe it's thoughts to do with your actual physical reality, like the physical realm in which you reside, but also is there any place in you where you feel, I heard, throw me a freaking bone, like is there any place where you're like, God, could I just please get a break? Could I please like throw me some Rice Krispie treats, or like help me? But this level of thinking is when we're like really out of our sovereignty, right? Because we don't understand God and I are one. And this, I think, is there's a humility that's being called forth. There is this humility of, it's not self-depreciation, okay? Like enough of that. Enough of the self-depreciating feelings, or feeling like victimized, or feeling like you don't have agency. You do have agency. You have beautiful, wondrous agency. Like this is like almost an opposite feeling, right? Look at these characters versus this character. This character, look at what you did build. Look at what happened during this time that actually you did build. You did create. There is hard work and effort and payoff here. There is something good here that has come of feelings of disempowerment, spiritual initiation, maybe victimization, but there's something new and there's something good, and if it's not there quite yet, it will be becoming more and more apparent in your reality. Okay, now these two cards, this feels like your energetic future. It feels like the Wheel of Fortune is turning in your favor. This card felt before this one. So the Wheel of Fortune, it often comes to us when, see these four guys in the corner? The lion with wings, what is that called in, God, I'm totally blanking on the name of that mystical being. All of these beings have wings, right? Wings, 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 wings. And yet all of these are animals. Well, they're human, but a human overcoming the animal instinct of themselves then becomes the winged one, right? The wings, and we got the white bird right at the beginning. So this sense of like, once you've grown your wings, then the Wheel of Fortune will always turn in your favor, because you're right with the universe. You're right with the law of one. You're right with God source energy. You are in a generative place. And no problem. Like if you've been going through like a deconstruction and a degenerative place, like that is part of what life is to come to this planet and learn these lessons. But there is this like real deep beauty of so much of your cards here is pentacles, 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 and Wheel of Fortune, definitely a card of pentacle energy. So this 10 of Pentacles is kind of like that final, you did the work and now you receive the bounty that is like the spiritual yoked to the mental, yoked to the emotional, yoked to the physical. It's like all the levels that really call forth this beautiful thing coming to you, whatever this is for you. Yeah, and so it is. Okay, green fluorite, that was your reading. I hope you enjoyed. All right, the blue apatite. For anybody who chose the blue apatite, let's go ahead and do your reading. Blue apatite. You are a powerful creature. I don't know if creature is the right word. But definitely, I feel you've spent many lives working in, I want to say the mysteries, working in the mysteries. Talk about mysteries. Okay, I'm feeling to take your cards in order as they pop. So this is often a card of delusion and fantasy, or feeling like you have so many options before you. Which one will you choose? And it can be almost an illusion of options, but it also is a deep card of mystery, and like there's so many different things you could choose, okay? So you have all of these options. Some of them are real options, some of them might be delusions or illusions. Nonetheless, there's always there's what's good, let's give us something about the option that is most aligned. Woo! I love her. Strength card. All right. So this is when we truly have earned mastery over the primal impulse within us that is almost without, the lion is a mighty beast, and it is a very like strong, community focused. So it's not that you haven't, it's not like a monster. A lion is not a monster. So it's not the taming of a monster energy. It's more like the friendship, the cultivation of the union with the primal instinct of yourself, and how that happens in a way where you literally could walk up to a lion and feel confident in your ability to put your hand right near its head and mouth. And it's this like deep gratitude for that primal place within yourself that does come with all of that creative power. So your choice, the choice, if we're talking about how you have many options right now, the choice, if you have different paths you could take, it's like befriend the wildness, befriend the mystery, even from a place of strength. Strength comes after we've had an encounter with We could call it unconsciousness, we could call it evil, we could call it the devil, we could call it all these things, but it's the strength that's born of going through the energies that are at times deeply challenging. Chariot. Oh, see? All of these major arcanas. The Chariot. For me, this is a card about divine will, perfect balance. You'll see at the center here, you have this symbolism, which is of like masculine and feminine in union, black and white in union. This is what creates your ability to simply move with divine will. So this is not really you driving the chariot, it's the universe, the stars, the destiny is unfolding at this point. So as soon as you get through this phase, and this phase can take a while, finding and gaining your strength can truly take, it could take a decade or more, or it could take, I heard it at least takes something in the figure of 8. It might take 8 years. Maybe you could look back in time and be like, okay, when did my awakening happening? How many years has it been since that? Maybe it might take 18 years. I mean, everybody's different, but I just saw 1616 when I said that. So it was like 7, maybe it takes 7 years. I don't know. It's like, it's a long period of time for you to garner the ability to sit in the chariot, the throne, really. It's the throne of God in many ways, the Merkaba. You say it Merkava in the Hebrew. This is exciting. Blue Apatite, like, whoa, like, congrats. The Knight of Cups. He's always a messenger for me. And what is the message that he brings you? 10 of Cups. Awesome. Okay. So, I don't know, like, okay, this is cool. Once I met a woman and we were thinking about doing a collaboration with each other, and she told me a story about this card, and I haven't thought about this in a long time, but I'll tell you. So she was looking for her divine partner, and she just kept pulling this card with this little red house, this little red barn house in the distance, this really happy family. And she ends up meeting this person very like unexpectedly. She fell in love with someone that she had known for many, many years. They both ended up getting out of a relationship, and it must have just been divine timing. So they find this like magical home that just happens to like be the dream home that both of them mysteriously have been desiring. And she doesn't notice that out in the distance there is this like red barn that she can see from her property, and her property is beautiful. It's like backed up to the river in Sedona, Arizona, like just gorgeous. And so we're sitting there on top of her deck, and she told me this story about like how she had this full circle moment where she was sitting on her deck and looking out and like suddenly saw the red barn and was with like the person that she just had been waiting for, that love, and really thought it would never come. And suddenly like the 10 of Cups was just there. And so her boyfriend, our husband, is romantic, obviously. So he printed this card, and like a beautiful print of it, and they have it hung in their house. And yeah, so this feels like the message that I bring you is that all of this hard work, all of this having to sift through the illusions of life, there is a gorgeous, 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 beautiful ending. Look at these cards. These are like so good. Okay. Much love to you, Blue Apatite. Okay. Purple Amethyst. Purple Amethyst. Last but not least, Okay. Ooh, I'm gonna get some light language for you. Okay. Ooh. Okay. Your energy is... I'm gonna try to feel this for just a minute before I speak on it. Okay, I guess light language. Light language at first. So, the more that I have spoken light language, had other people speak light language to me, the more I have gone within and really talked to God about this. I do believe that it's part of the gift we are given when we are on the path to I want to be careful with my words here because it's a sovereign function of your spiritual authority as a human being to speak light language. Now, speaking light language is its own initiation and its own art form and its own journey. So, some people have that gift and some people have an entirely different gift, and different ways of navigating are equally beautiful. So light language, as I have spoken it to people who are highly advanced on their path, many people will see images and symbols as I speak. Okay? Whether or not you're at that place where light language can effectively communicate to you from the perspective of divine self, it doesn't matter. Oh, my battery. If we just cut out, then I will do something about that. Hopefully we'll make it. Okay, so relax, okay? Feel relaxed and just allow yourself to connect to your divine self and know that your divine self is in communion with divine source. And I'll set the intention to bring forth healing, guidance, and any wisdom that could benefit you at this time. Ramana Kyato He Ya He Kyato He Yamoe Yamo Yamoe Yau Ya Yau Yau Ya Yau Ya Yama ya ya hey ya ha ya hey. Ooh ya ha ya hey ya ha ya ya wo hey ya he. I feel to just let the birds finish this. Woo, full body chills. It was so beautiful. All right, we got the sun. So things are in a good place. All is as it should be. Childlike wonder. Childlike wonder. She pops again. You don't know this because you weren't in the other readings, but strength. I feel really drawn to the yellow. What I was just saying in the other reading was that strength takes a long time to fully garner. It takes a long time to approach the primal, the primordial, the prime order, and to feel the confidence of heaven, to place your hand near the mouth of something wild. And it's a big trust fall to initiate yourself deeply with the spiritual realm, because the spiritual realm has its divine ordering, and so much of what this life is, about having hope, having that deep sense of, I'm going to call it faith, that deep sense of faith in your ability to come to a realm like this, a planet like this that is so polarized, and to go through all of the trials and tribulations, to come into this energy of the star. I'm thinking about Aquarius here. The freedom. You know, Aquarian is such a humanitarian energy. I'm somebody who, in my True Sky astrology, has 4 planets in Aquarius. And it's almost a feeling of impossibility. Like if I try to do something and it doesn't have the purpose of connecting to improving this realm, bringing this realm into a place of more innocent freedom and more just pure enoughness, flow, and balance, there's no appeal for me as somebody who is deeply Aquarian. And it's, you know, Aquarius is the opposite of Leo, and I have a very Leonine friend in my life. She has such like a solid sense of self that I lack. And I admire it. I admire like knowing oneself so deeply and having that, but like, you know, maybe there's Leo energy here somehow, but Leo has such like the battle of the lion and the sun. Oh shit. Okay. So what I'm getting is the balance, the delicate balance that takes place between what the self wants, the ego wants, with the image of self wants, and just what is truly a benefit to the whole through the self, right? And that's a tightrope to walk, because desire is, you know, the etymology of desire means down star. It's like the star comes to earth. in the form of human beings. Like literally human beings are 5-pointed stars. Have you ever really thought about that? What a cool thing to be humanoid in nature. Yeah, desire. This is my Jedi card. Okay, I know other people might read this card differently, but this is like my Jedi Master. You have the swords of polarity, duality, and thought, and the water in the motions is choppy, and you sit, and the moon pulls the way the moon pulls the emotions, as it always does, because you're human, and you got to balance that mind. You got to, close the eyes, go within. The Jedi Master of the Jedi Mastery. Page of Swords. I immediately just heard write your story. Write your story. The Jedi Master to be able to be, it's the page here. The page is looking back, but the story moves forward. The story is concurrent with consciousness evolving. So stop looking back, because you can't change the past, and the past is fertile soil for what you have now. And don't be afraid to pick up the sword, to master the energy of the sword, to master the mind, to master that delicate balance between the Leo and the Aquarian pulse of life. Like, regardless of whether you have Leo or Aquarius in your sign, we have all zodiac energies in us. Okay, we come into these avatar-like embodiments to be certain archetypal frequencies, but within the human journey, within that journey of the zodiac, the zodiacal forces, is a deep balancing between the subjective and the objective forces of life. And there is just objective forces of nature. There are literally universal laws. And I'm just hearing Jesus, like, do unto others as you would have others do unto you. Truly. Without harm. Do no harm. Okay, you got Knight of Cups. This is my messenger, so I'm going to pull your last card. What is the final message for the Amethyst? Good job. Standing ovation. I feel this hermit as emerging, like the hermit phase of life. Like you go up the mountain, you get in the cave, you sit, you're quiet, you're alone, no more distractions. So many things on this life try to distract us. There's so many distractions. Even on the spiritual path, there's distractions. Like, I'm seeing like overuse of plant medicines. Like, think of that as a distraction. Watching TV as a distraction. So many people get distracted by fucking drama. Like, being in drama energy all the time. Like spewing like dramatic stories from your mouth. That can be, in a sense, a distraction. The hermit masters all of that. The hermit masters the desire for, like, the sexual desire of, like, all of the things that even food, like food can be a distraction. There's just so much on this planet that, like, almost tricks us from being able to properly hear and listen for You know, this star is like fully in that hermit's like lantern. Like the hermit brings back the wisdom of God's source light. So standing ovation. Well done. And if you're not there yet, you will be soon. So it is. Okay, that was fun. Thank you to everybody who listened to one of these readings. And I guess if you're still here or you're here at the end, give a thumbs up, help someone else find this video. Of course, I appreciate it. And much love to you. Happy Halloween, but also Samhain. Samhain is technically the second new moon after the fall equinox, when the veil is absolutely the thinnest. I love to dress up in costumes. I have ever since I was a little girl. But, yeah. More costume comes from, costume is a root word. The etymology of costume is custom. So this season, connect to your customs, connect to your ancestry, and remember, you do not have to work with all of your ancestors, okay? If you have fucking ancestors that are crazy and like trying to taunt you, and this happened for me a few years back where like, one, I never really understood the power of ancestors, and then God revealed that to me, and I was like, oh, thank you, ancestors. Thank you, ancestors, for my life. Thank you, ancestors, for all of the hell you went through to keep the Holy Grail here on earth. Thank you, ancestors. And then I realized that not all ancestors are our friends. And then I got very clear on like, oh, I only work with ancestors who have entered the state that they're working within the law of one. Like any ancestor who has not yet achieved the energetic resonance of being in alignment with God, source's loving will, like get out of my life, you know. Then I had to do an ancestral clearing in that way. But I'll leave you just with that as a final message of like customs, costumes, ancestry, like these things are deeply intertwined with all of the different and varied perspectives of what God is, like God experiencing God, you know, sometimes I just think about the nature of life and I'm like, like breathless at how beautiful it is to be a human. I just spit. Sorry about that. Yeah. Okay. Much love.